Right, folks, here we are again with the second part of our Twisted Late Night on Saturday. Second game we will be playing tonight is the Sherlock Holmes adventure Crimes and Punishments, which has 6 cases. We've already played the first one and part of the second case, and we will continue the second case tonight. The second case is all about a vanishing train containing a valuable prototype for a electric machine. I will start off by reiterating what we have found out thus far, because I imagine some of the people on the stream may not have seen the first part. Let me just minimize the game. I'm playing full screen, so if I have to do something in my streaming software or Twitch, I have to minimize the game for a moment, so apologies for that. So, there we go. Just going to grab my drink, give everyone the time to come back into the stream. So, continue. Riddle on the Rails, that's the name of this second case. And here we are. So, let's reiterate, shall we? The case is about a mysterious train that vanished from the before arriving in the station of Evesham. Now, Holmes and Watson witnessed it together with the station master that the train was spotted, or at least the headlights and the sound of the horn were heard, and suddenly the train kinda disappeared, never arrived in Evesham station. We then found out that the train was carrying a valuable prototype. There was a special wagon ordered by a certain Mr. Thomas Robinson from Australian origin, and this special wagon he ordered was carrying his prototype for an electric machine that apparently was very valuable. We then traveled to Bridlington station because we found out that there the train was held up and there was an issue with the passengers. In Bridlington station we learned to know the young station master of Bridlington, very young, inexperienced and insecure. We found out that after he received a telegram, all the passengers were forced to get off the train, with the exception of a group of the exception of a group of Chilean people who apparently continued on the train, and also the special wagon with the prototype. In Bridlington station we also met Mr. Robinson himself, who was far from pleased of his prototype being missing. But we also found out that he wasn't very honest, because we discovered some documents, contracts with many different buyers of companies where he was trying to sell the same prototype with a payment in advance. So shabby business deals there by Mr. Robinson. We also found an insurance contract for quite a hefty amount. So yeah, Mr. Robinson, and one of the contracts, and that's an interesting thing, is that one of the contracts was with a Chilean company called Barcazas. So it seems very plausible that the Chileans, or we are almost sure that the Chileans on the train were actually the Barcazas company, and they would meet Mr. Robinson on the train. They had set rendezvous, and so, but the rendezvous never took place because Mr. Robinson had to go off in Bidlington Station. We then head off to Chesterfield Station, because the station master of Chesterfield had reported that the train passed Chesterfield as well. But when we got there, we discovered that the station master there was actually addicted to alcohol and was in a very drunken state the previous night, well, the day when we are investigating as well. And his testimony is not to be trusted. He even admitted that he couldn't confirm or deny that whether the train passed Chesterfield or not. So the only thing we do know is that the train left Bridlington with the prototype and the Chileans and never arrived in Evesham. Another thing we found in Chesterfield were disassembled pieces of a train cart, a wooden train cart, and Sherlock Holmes managed to reassemble it together with headlights which could mimic the lights of the train, and a horn combined with a fire extinguisher to mimic the sound of the horn of the train. So it looks likely that someone has used this train cart from Chesterfield to make it look like the train disappeared and then disassembled it again at Chesterfield Station. Secondly, the train must have gotten on a different track between Nottingham and Evesham. That's all we know. We don't know if it's before or after Chesterfield, but we know that the real train must have gotten off somewhere with the prototype and the Chileans. Now, as to possible suspects, we obviously have Mr. Robinson himself, because we already found out that this was dishonest and was actually trying to sell his prototype to different parties. It is possible that his prototype wasn't even functioning, who knows, and that the prototype disappearing was actually part of his plan to get money from different parties through payments in advance for a prototype that then would have disappeared with the train. And the second suspects are the Chileans, of course, because it's not a coincidence that they didn't have to step off the train. They were apparently forgotten, which seems highly unlikely. And even then, if they are not the suspects, if they are not guilty, then where are they? Because they disappeared together with the train after all. So yeah, this is the cart that we reassembled. So next things to do, and now I have to look at my notes. We have no tasks to complete. We still have dialogue, the tools used at Chesterfield stations. So there are apparently some tools there that we found. We also have the railway map, and Sherlock mentioned that we should head back to his office to get a more detailed map of the surroundings. So I think that's the first thing we shall do. To London. Oh yeah, we have to take the cab, I believe. Hi, Watson.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Yes, I imagine. And we can run. So yeah, the game is pretty true to the original novels by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The atmosphere is great. The character of Sherlock Holmes is pretty realistic. How do we get to London? I want to get back to my office. Weird. I thought we could go back to London, but it seems we cannot. We have to go to Evesham first. So yeah, during the first case we did find out that you have to make deductions, and sometimes if something is obvious for you, but because you haven't formalized it in some way in the game, you cannot draw a certain conclusion, even if for you everything's clear. You have to sometimes make connections officially in the game, and that can actually get you stuck somewhere. It seems we cannot go to London. I'm a bit confused about that. Well, okay. Apparently we can't. Maybe the option will come up later.
The entire train has disappeared. It's a disaster.
Okay, this man doesn't have anything useful. We already investigated Chesterfield, so let's go back to Bidlington. Maybe someone there can give us some information if we tell them more about the info we found at Chesterfield station. I played all the cases before, but it's been a while, so I remember pieces, but I certainly don't remember the entire outcome of every case. So here's our Mr. Robinson.
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
Yes, the most friendly as always.
It's a scandal, an absolute outrage.
Station master?
Don't touch anything, please.
Nothing. Okay. I can't remember what we were going to do exactly yesterday. I thought we had to head back to office. But I don't see any option how we can go back to London. Maybe if we walk to the edge of the map? No, that just opens up. Oh, come on. I'm sure Sherlock mentioned that we should head back to London. Conversations, dialogues. So, Watson, you shouldn't jump to conclusions. Doesn't tell us very much, except that the train didn't evaporate into thin air. At any rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings. Oh no! Of course, we don't have to head back to London because Sherlock took his archives with him. Here we are.
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
Right. And how do we do this?
Here it is. There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations. There is one more station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham station.
Right, so we have two new spots to investigate. So examine the side railway branch that begins at the railway switch. Examine the side railway branch that leads to the quarry at the station located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and examine the side railway branch at Evesham. So here there is another station. We have a railway switch, and we have a side branch over here that we can reach from Evesham station. We will start with the railway switch. It's not a totally linear game, so you have some options in which order you do certain things. Although some of the options are only available after you complete something else, which makes sense in a detective game.
The switch is rusted, but it still works.
Right. So, it is possible that the train was moved on to another rail over here, and this rail moves to the mines. Let's just check if there are any other clues around here. Already examined the switch. No, apparently there's not really any clues. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything important.
Mines. This is interesting.
It certainly is, Holmes. Ah, we have Sherlock's vision. Imagination.
It would be quite possible for someone to redirect the train towards the mines.
Yes, indeed. So, examined the mines and found out if it is possible to hide the train there. Makes sense. And now we have the mines.
Here are the mines, Holmes. They appear to be abandoned.
Right.
There is a wooden beam lying on the rails. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here.
What does it expect us to measure?
Nothing interesting here.
I'm not sure.
Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. The distance between
the
the
tracks.
is about 4 feet 8 inches.
4 feet 8
A
inches.
lightly loaded vehicle came this way. A small vehicle with wooden beams went down this way.
A small vehicle with wooden beams. Right. A small vehicle with wooden beams. That was not on the...
This mine has completely collapsed, Holmes.
It is curious, but to be truthful, I am not entirely surprised.
It's difficult to follow you, Holmes.
It's funny to see how things have gone quiet in the chat when I'm playing Sherlock Holmes. On the other hand, perhaps it's logical because it's a game where there's a lot of story and you have to kind of follow it. So, Sherlock's vision.
Someone removed these screws, most probably to take down the rails. A few feet of the rails have been dismantled.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying you guys have to chat and all. It's, like I said, it's not surprising that it's a story that you have to follow, so people are more concentrated on that. Pile of stones, yeah. Collapsed mine. Paper package. A strange box.
This is an unusual kind of paper, stiff and dry. It was used for a specific purpose. Let us look inside. Sawdust. I am almost certain it is a... Watson, could you assist, please? Do you have your pistol? Good. Fire at this package.
Dynamite.
That was fun. So we have dynamite. Robinson's motive. The loss of the prototype will bring a lot of oh yeah, we still had this one open. This is the new one. The mines were collapsed to hide the train. Dynamite was used after the train was moved inside. Or the mines were collapsed with dynamite. Somebody wanted to close them intentionally. So yeah, the mines were collapsed with dynamite. But was it to hide the train or not? It's relatively likely, but we're not sure. Same here, Robinson's motive. The loss of the prototype will bring a lot of easy money thanks to the insurance and multiple fraudulent exclusive contracts, so that give him a motive. But the loss of the machine is a disaster is also possible, because even though he planned fraud, if the prototype is really as valuable, then he may have lost more than he gained. So yeah, I'm still keeping this open. What we do have is, yeah, the Chileans stay on the train was just a coincidence. The conductor overlooked them. I don't believe that. The Chileans were left there intentionally. The controller removed all passengers from the train except for the Chileans. And the train missed Chesterfield. I would like to remove this. Can I not remove this? Ah, come on. Oh, I hate it. I want to keep this open because we know that the station master's testimony cannot be trusted, but we don't know if it passed or either missed Chesterfield, because both are open. That's what we know, because, yeah, his testimony couldn't be trusted. That's entirely the point. And the train never reached Eves, and it disappeared earlier and was faked by somebody using a handcar and spare train parts. That's something we do know. Right. Let's see if we have any other clues in the vicinity. I doubt it, but... Now, one thing that's good about this game is that you don't have to look to the extreme and hunt for pixels. Just casually looking around is usually enough to spot all the clues. And the real challenge comes from the deduction system to form the right conclusion. And that's exactly how a detective game should be. Now, it's surprising that we found this shed, and still there doesn't appear to be anything inside that gives us a clue. It's possible, but I still doubt that the shed was here without a reason. Yeah, apparently it was. Well, never mind then. That's the thing with this kind of games, though. You do tend to go over the top to find all the clues, just because you are scared to miss a vital one. Okay, I think we have nothing valuable left here, so we know that someone removed the tracks. We have some leftover screws. We know that someone used dynamite to collapse the tunnel. So maybe the train went through and then it was collapsed, but we're not sure. And there was a wagon coming by here, lightweight with wooden beams, which could have been carrying the, or probably was carrying the railway tracks that had been removed. Okay, let's head over to the other station to see if the train passed there, because that would give us, or might give us, an indication whether the train actually was moved to a different track at the switch, or whether it went further and there is maybe a different explanation. Yeah, Watson, get out of my way. Well, hello to you, sir.
He looks anxious.
Yes, he
And
does.
he is not an Englishman.
A cigar stub.
This scent is familiar to me, but in order to recognize it, I must combine my associations into one picture.
Yeah, right. This looks familiar, doesn't it? Let's turn it around first, shall we? Because that was the trick last time. Come on, this is good enough. Apparently not. Yeah, Sherlock is an expert in recognizing different brands of cigars. Come on. How much more perfect do I have to make this? Aha.
A greenish
There we have
brown
it.
cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes.
The name of this man, no,
No,
Watson.
I refer to the cigar. It is a Ricardo Tarrant, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too.
Mexican cigar.
This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans.
Aha. And did the Chileans build a wall?
A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. These ashes and cigar stubs are similar to the one that we found on the floor. Some of the stubs were recently smoked. There are others that appear fairly old.
That means that the fellow spent several days here. Judging by his clothes, he's hardly a traveller or a tramp.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long days at Doncaster Station.
Yes. Now the thing I was wondering is, why doesn't it move out automatically? Usually when I have all the clues, it does move out automatically. And no, doesn't do that here. So the thing is, do we have all the clues or don't we have all the clues?
This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. This ashtray is full of ash
Yeah, we
and
know.
cigar stubs.
Okay, now probably the game expects that you do that first and then only use your ability. Right, let's check for other clues first. Nothing here. Plant, bench, chest. Yep. I think we have all the clues here at the moment. So let's look at our Mexican fellow. No, it's not in here. The office table.
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase and flat racing. He is a true enthusiast, Holmes.
Horse racing.
Betting slips for horse racing. The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
Right. So
A telegraph.
it looks like the station master of, what's this station called? Doncaster, was actually addicted to gambling, horse racing for high amounts, which makes him like a good victim for anyone who has some money to spare. So yeah, the big question is, did the train pass Chesterfield and or did it pass Doncaster? If it didn't, then it must have gone on this railway switch and must be hidden in the mines. If it got past Chesterfield but not past Doncaster, then it could have gotten off here. And if it got past Doncaster, then it might be hidden over there. No, bar that, because the train didn't pass Evesham, so this area over here is not possible. But this is before Doncaster, is it? So we know for sure that the train cannot have passed Doncaster. Whatever you want evidence, the Mexican cigars, the tools used that were found at Chesterfield, and the horse racing tickets. I was just wondering if there was also a contract with the Mexicans. That was the insurance policy. There was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans, we know that. Oh yeah, we know that the people on the train were the directors of the Barcazas company. Train composition, locomotive, coal car, first class car, postal wagon, then the special wagon with Mr. Robinson's prototype, and finally the second class car. But apparently I cannot check the different contracts. I wish I could. Maybe it's in here somewhere. Telegram, train composition, insurance policy. We don't seem we have a trace of all the contracts. That's a shame. But okay. No, this is the wrong exit.
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking.
Yes, most definitely. Yes. Any clues here? Sherlock's vision? Nope. What was the other thing? Imagination talent? It usually tells you, so can't really seem to find anything here. There must be clues. Pool? No. Nothing? Am I missing something here? This was the area Sherlock Holmes said we should check. And yet, no clues. Right, confused. What does it say? There's a large flooded area near the Doncaster station. Right, maybe we should just talk to the station master about it. I was confused by what Holmes said.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. John Watson. We are investigating the case of the vanished train.
Is that so? Well, good day, gentlemen. I am Mr. Duff, the station master of this station. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can, but there's not much that I can tell you about last night.
Yeah, sure, you're the guy who bets on the horse racing, aren't you? Right. Melancholic. Doesn't have a watch. That's strange for a train master, isn't it? A ring mark, but he doesn't have a ring. So yeah, all indicators that he must have spent it all betting on the horses. And a missing button. Right, let's start with the passengers.
Did any passengers leave or board the train last night?
No. I saw no one as usual. I reported the train's passage by telegraph. Just the same as all the other nights.
Yeah, right. So we are not entirely sure here if the train passed this station, because another guy who could be lying, he has enough motive to lie to us. If he is somewhat connected to the Mexican guy, we know that he was a gambler, he spent a lot of money, he already gambled his ring and his watch.
It appears that you may be at risk of some flooding along the line here.
You mean that the whole bloody lake is at our feet?
Quite so. But it is strange, because according to my map there should be a quarry here, and behind that the lake.
How should I know? I only arrived here a few months ago.
And where did you work before that?
I was working in Nottingham, but I asked for a quieter place, so they transferred me here. Life is cheaper. I can't really complain.
You mean away from the gambling?
I observe that you are a gambling man, Mr. Duff. You had hoped that your relocation to this small town might have helped ease your addiction, but it was not to be.
I beg your pardon? Addiction to what?
We found a number of horse racing tickets inside your office. Well, well, we all have our weaknesses. An expensive obsession, surely, for a station master.
It is none of your business. I occasionally attend the races with my colleagues. And anyway, that's my private life.
There was a gentleman of Mexican origin, I believe, in the waiting room. Did you notice him?
What? A Mexican? Here in the back of beyond? Are you quite sure about that?
Goodbye, sir. It is obvious that we cannot inspect the quarry. Instead, we can check the beach area around the flooded lake.
Right, now we can. Right, we have quite a few tasks, people. So you notice that this case is a bit longer and more complex than the first one. Examine the... Wow. Examine the mines, we already did that. I think we need to really... the beach. Because this is where the lake used to be. It seems like maybe someone flooded the lake into the quarry. And that could mean that the train is hidden there. Although there is no track leading there. It's still very suspicious.
That is located near the quarry and Doncaster station. It doesn't look like a very good place to rest.
Right, orientate. Okay.
These traces were made by carriage. Look. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches.
So not the same
The
size.
vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep.
Anything else here? Nope, doesn't look like it. Oh, no, 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 no. I didn't want to exit. Huh? Oh yeah, sorry, I thought I had... Oh, I am in a certain scene. I can no longer move around, so... Space skip, so I'm still in a sort of puzzle apparently.
The
There
vehicle
we
would
are.
have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep.
Wow. Okay. Still not all? No, apparently it's still not
The
everything.
vehicle pressed this
Stone.
stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy.
Yeah, we already know it was heavy.
These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials.
Right. Seems like someone has been living here.
Abandoned gypsy caravan.
Gypsies.
This place was abandoned fairly recently. Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached.
Yes, that was already rather obvious. So, any more clues? Some old boats.
A label with the name Las Zarpas.
Las Zarpas. Is that Mexican? So examine the beach is gone, but examine the mines is still up there. So I think we must have missed a clue there. Right. I think we got everything here. Let's go back to Doncaster first. And see if our station master can tell us more and if we can find this Mexican dude. And then we'll probably head back to the mines to see what we missed. And then we still have this area left over here, past Evesham. And we may have some characters at Bridlington, Chesterfield, Evesham, who we may confront with additional evidence. So it's quite a lot left to do. I don't know if there are already any theories in the chat. People are very quiet, but let's also check all the rooms here. This is the waiting hall. Yeah, we've been here. The left luggage. Postal bags.
Railway post bags.
In every station we've had these post bags.
This
Station.
post bag belongs to the station master.
Yes, well, he won't know that we took a peek. Reply to your last warning letter. I wish to assure you that I shall soon honor all of the latest installments that I need to pay according to my debt. Yeah, he is in debt. That's not a surprise. Letter to his wife.
The station master appears to have found himself in some financial trouble.
My darling, I ask you to trust me this time. I shall soon have more than enough money to repay the house mortgage. It's only a matter of days. You may continue living in the house without me, since that is your wish. Please know that I still care about you and hope that you will forgive me one day, despite all of the harm I have caused in recent years. Okay, some serious addiction there to gambling. No problem, Lion. Enjoy your meal. The Doncaster master received money. And there was a telegram reporting the arrival and departure of the train. So, the train could have passed Doncaster, but it's possible that it missed it. So I'll keep this open again. So, yeah, did it pass Doncaster? Did it pass Chesterfield? We're not sure. We know it vanished before Evesham, and that's about it. Right, what else have we got? Let's see if we can confront the station master with the money that he recently received.
You'll find nothing
No.
interesting here, I'm afraid.
That's too bad.
Watson, would you like some tea?
Would you like some tea? Really? Okay, doesn't appear to be any clues here, but where's our Mexican guy? Good question. Okay. This is just here for the looks, because we cannot open it. I think we've investigated all we could. I'm just wondering where the Mexican went to. I would have wanted to speak to him. Waiting hall. Wait, there's two waiting halls? No, there's two entrances. to the waiting hall? Yes, there's 2 entrances. But he's no longer around. So where did he go? He's not at the front. Okay. I remember from a previous playthrough, or I seem to remember from a previous playthrough, that we were able to talk to the Mexican. But apparently not. So I must be imagining things. Right. Let's start with what we apparently missed at the mines. There must be some clue here that we hadn't noticed. So let's investigate a bit further. So we are kind of pixel hunting, although not to the extreme. I'm still wondering why this shed is here. Maybe around here. We haven't gone back here, haven't we? Yeah, that must be it. There's another track over here. No. That would seem like something Holmes should mention. Well, apparently, no. Ah.
This is the cabin for the mine's security personnel.
Right. Just catching up on the chat a bit. 7 free Ubisoft games if you create an account. What if you already have an account? Here's the link. At least I think I have an account. I probably have an account. Beyond Good and Evil. I don't think I played it. The name sounds familiar. Right, does it still say the mines? Examine the mines. Yep. So we must still have some clues here. And yet I cannot seem to find it. What am I missing? This can't be. You know, you don't really normally don't have to be that precise in this game. If you just go close enough, you normally get the hint that there's a clue there. So the fact that I cannot seem to find the last clue is kind of confusing. Aha! No? What? The game let me walk up here and there's nothing? Associate game with account. Yeah, but you also get those free games? May have not read your previous post correctly. I thought you mentioned that there were... Yes, you do. Okay. Then I will have to check that after the stream. Although at first sight these are not really titles that I have that much interest in. I will definitely look up Beyond Good and Evil, but Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed, yeah, Assassin's Creed maybe. Nope. So they're just giving them away? I'm still confused about it, or... I really don't know what else to do around here. I feel like wasting my time. Oh, but I can get... Oh, damn it. That was so obvious. I could get into that building over here. And let's see, maybe we find some cigars, or who knows.
This box must be the safe. Let's open it.
Oh, another lock puzzle. I like these. I have to say I like these. Right, I always do it like this. So the window is open and then you can move the other ones to actually fit in there. Maybe this one first. No, that one. Like this. And then that one. Like this. Yes, this is starting to look right. Or maybe not. It has to fit over here. Then these must be wrong. Let's see. Yeah, we have a line here. And then this one. Line over there. There another line. Yes, there is. Haven't I got it? Oh no, the green one. There's probably another line on the green one to the left, so we can make the connection inside the square. Yes, there is. Wow. I like these puzzles. Documents.
The Mexican company Caracao and the Chilean Barcazas both want to buy the mines. I need more information. Perhaps Mycroft could help.
Perhaps Mycroft could help. This is really an interesting case. We inform you that representatives of the Barcazas Group are granted free access from now on. This company is the future owner of the mines. Also, starting from today, a no trespassing rule is upheld against any representative of the Caracal Consortium. The preliminary contract of sale has been cancelled. Do not provide any explanation. This information is confidential. Wow. Right, so examine the mines is gone. So what have we left? Examine the side railway that leads to the quarry at the station located between Chesterfield and Evesham. The side railway branch at Evesham. And the telegraph. Use a telegraph to discover more about the We Are Coal Company. That was the thing we should check with Mycroft, I guess.
Watson, it seems that both South American companies were involved in the purchase of the mine.
The man at Doncaster who flared our approach, he smokes Mexican cigars. Perhaps...
Perhaps.
Yes, Watson. We should certainly speak with him.
Yes, we should. Alright. Now let's just make sure we understand everything correctly. Examine the side railway branch that leads to the quarry at the station located between Chesterfield and Evesham. This is Doncaster. So apparently we still have something there. Examine the side railway branch that leads to the quarry. But the quarry was flooded with water from the lake. So what else do we need to examine there? Anyway, we need to head back there to find this Chilean. Then the side railway branch at Evesham, that's this one over here. And find a man who is smoking cigars at Doncaster. Use the telegraph to discover more about the We Are Coal Company. WEA Coal Company. So I think we better head to Doncaster because 2 out of 4 tasks. Yeah, if we maybe we can even use a telegram, so that's 3 out of 4 remaining tasks that we can do from Doncaster station. Right, Doncaster.
Please, sir, we would ask you not to leave. We have some questions.
Are you the police?
No, we are employed by the railway company. We are collecting witness statements about the train that disappeared last night.
Lo siento, I'm in a hurry.
Really? It seemed that you were waiting here for someone. Could you tell us if you were at the station last night?
No, I just arrived from South America.
Yeah, sure.
A formidable journey, no doubt. Which country are you from?
De Chile.
Chile? No way. You are not from Chile, man. You are Mexican. And you didn't arrive last night. So, wrinkles. Smart clothes. Strong build. Expensive cigar. We already know which one. Martial arts. Whoa. I thought you were Mexican.
Chile. But you are Mexican.
No, you are wrong. Why would you think I'm Mexican?
Because you didn't mention the wall?
Because of your cigars.
Sí, cigarrillos. So what?
Those cigars are the Ricardo brand, from Mexico. It is quite impossible to find them anywhere but there.
Pero not your business.
Not your business.
I don't suppose that you are on vacation. What business brought you here?
I was to meet my fellow compañeros, who were due to arrive yesterday. They were on that damn train. I will stay here and hope that the authorities find them, or their bodies. It's now my responsibility to repatriate them.
Who authorized you to do that?
The company I work for.
Could you tell me the name of the company?
It's not your concern.
And what is your name?
Enough questions. Buenas tardes.
Not a very
Not a
cooperative
friendly
type,
man,
eh?
and he is lying. He said that he just arrived, but we know that he has been here for several days.
Yes, indeed. The Mexican. Judging by the expensive brand of this man's cigars and the clothes that he wears, we may conclude that he is financially wealthy. The strong smell of tobacco surrounds him and his breathing is harsh, indicating that he's been smoking heavily for the past few days. The backs of his hands are red and calloused, the sign of a man who is well practiced in the martial arts. We also have our Station Master of Doncaster. Station Master of Doncaster is in a depressed state. He may be recently divorced, owing to the mark left by the ring on his ring finger. His clothes are untidy and it appears that he finds his single life quite difficult. His master's watch is missing. It could be lost or stolen, or even pawned if he is in desperate need of money. Right. Next up, we need to check. We need to send a telegram. Where can we send a telegram? Oh yeah, the office next to the waiting hall. I hope we can send telegrams from any office. Yep. And contact
I asked
Mycroft.
to find out some information on the WEA Coal Company. Here is his reply, and it is an interesting one.
There are two companies, the Chilean Barcazas and the Mexican Caracal. Both wanted to purchase the WEA coal mines. The Mexican Caracal Consortium had established an initial deal and had prepared all the papers. However, the Chilean Barcazas group, aided by their influential connections, managed to snatch the concluding deal for the mines. Well, we already knew that. Why did we have to contact Mycroft to tell us what we already knew? So, WEA Coal has sold the mines to the Chilean Barcazas despite the initial deal with the Mexican Caracal. And both the Mexican Caracal and Chilean group Barcazas are willing to purchase the mines. Which gives us... No. The Mexicans held no grudge against the Chileans. Business is business after all. Huh? That's a logical deduction, isn't it? That doesn't make sense. Why don't I have an alternative there? It's obvious that it's the other way around. Well, anyway. Any other clues that we can connect? Nope. This one. Now we have it. The Mexican Caracal Company held a grudge against the Chilean Barcazas group, as the Chileans were favored for purchasing the coal mines, despite the Mexicans' preliminary sales contracts. And the Chileans were left on the train. So, the Mexicans could have organized the Chileans stay on the train. That's why the controller removed all the passengers except for the Chileans. And I clicked next to it because I wanted to remove that, but I cannot. I have to remove the original deductions to remove this conclusion from both facts. But it's both. Either the Chileans were left on the train. It's either of both. Either the Chileans were left on the train because they were involved in stealing Mr. Robinson's prototype, or the Chileans were left on the train because the thing was orchestrated by the Mexicans and they wanted to get their revenge on the Chileans. Right, what next? Side railway branch at Eastham, the side railway branch that leads to the quarry at the station located between Chesterfield and Evesham. Well, that station is Doncaster. So here the green spot. Apparently we still haven't investigated it sufficiently. Is this the road? Yep, this is the railroad. Maybe something new popped up here, because we checked here before. No clues? Oh, come on, game. There must be something. But this is not railroad. Maybe it's just outside the station? Doesn't look like it, but no, it's not that. So we should head back. Okay, just making sure we couldn't enter here. No, we can't. Maybe we can speak again to this man.
You'll find nothing
Nope.
interesting here, I'm afraid.
Double check this room. Would be stupid that there would be a clue now and that it wasn't here when we checked the room earlier. Yeah, left luggage. We did check everything here, didn't we? This was the bag of the station master. Yeah, nothing else here. Waiting hall we checked. And that's all we have here. Ah, there's the switch.
This railway branch should lead to the quarry. Let us take a look.
Yes, let's first check the switch.
The switch is rusted, but it still works.
It still works. Okay. Nope. Not that way.
The rail is rusted and looks old, but the railway is still usable.
Right. So we have advanced quite a lot. We have collected almost all of the clues by now. We still have some more near Evesham. And then it will be time to draw our conclusions.
The railway ends here. That is strange.
Yes, it is strange. So there was a railway to the quarry was flooded from the lake, and the railroad tracks here are gone. No, not deduction. Oh yeah, it is deduction. I thought we had some Sherlock vision. No? Oh, the old... Rails to the mines are missing. Oh no, the was not the mines but the quarry, of course. The mines were collapsed to hide the train. No, that was the mines. The train could have been sunk in the flooded quarry at Doncaster station. The train cannot be sunk because the old railway that leads there is missing some rails. Yeah, good question. I'll keep it open for now because I want to avoid jumping a wrong conclusion here. Right, I think we have everything here. So what's left is the railway branch at Evesham. We also still have the archives to search for the Las Zarpas label. And we have a dialogue with someone about the use tool at Chesterfield Station. This might be the Chesterfield Station Master after all. Wait, Chesterfield, that's the drunk guy? Yep, that's the drunk guy. Well, let's do that first. Then we will check our archives and then we continue at Evesham. Right, where's our station master? In here. Hello, brought your bottle of wine.
You have quite a number of dirty tools lying around here.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for reminding me. I should clean them. Although, might be easier to put them outside. Seems it might start raining soon.
I meant, what were they used for?
Some workers come here and borrowed them from me. They wanted to lift the edge of the railway to one of the stations on the line, so that the water wouldn't come in too close.
Aha. They wanted to lift the... What? They wanted to lift the rails so the water wouldn't come in too close?
Who were these workers?
Well, they didn't seem to be from the company, but they was fine lads. They invited me to share a drink.
Yeah, sure.
And whatever it was, it had a kick to it. They wasn't English. No, I don't believe so. But see, they knew just what a man needed to brighten up his dull evening.
Right. So whoever orchestrated this probably already knew that the station master at Bridlington was young and inexperienced and very insecure, that the station master at Chesterfield was a drunkard and was easily bribed by a bottle of wine or something else and would not be able to testify, and that the station master at Doncaster was actually addicted to gambling and had some debts and was definitely someone who they could bribe or maybe even blackmail. Alright, Las Zarpas and then Evesham. Las Zarpas, so that's in our archive. Nope, other way around.
My search should be focused upon the name Las Zarpas.
A study in Scarlet. I believe this was the very first Sherlock Holmes story. Jack the Ripper. Brazil abolishes slavery. New Scotland Yard opens. Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. What? I didn't see anything about Las Zarpas.
My search should be focused upon the name Las Zarpas.
Yeah, but come on, there is nothing about Las Zarpas, so... At least let me open the article in the newspaper to see if it mentions something about Las Zarpas. Well, anything to do with
My search.
railroads, I guess? Nope.
My search should be
Yeah. Not the mining disaster, we already tried that.
My search should
Brazil.
be focused. My search should be
It sounds Brazilian to me, or Mexican, or Chilean.
My search should be focused upon the name.
Yes, I know, but it doesn't mention Las Zarpas.
My search
Any
should be
ideas?
focused up-
Am I overlooking something obvious here?
My search
yeah,
should
yeah.
be focused upon the name.
The name Las Zarpas. Oh, of course. I didn't realize there was not just newspapers, but we also have the encyclopedia. Economic science, technology. Why not dynamite? Las Zarpas, barge transportation. Maybe you should change newspaper. Well, I just did. We had the same thought about the same moment, I think. The Las Zarpas barges are leaders in heavy goods transportation. The Las Zarpas label belongs to the Mexican consortium Caracal, who will cover shipping, electricity services, and mining. Right.
Here it is.
And where did we find this Las Zarpas thing? Mexican Caracal have barges. Yep. No? Okay. No, not this one. Mexican have used barges, probably to transport something heavy. The question is, was it our train? So what do we have left? We still need to go to the... There's still another rail section after Evesham. Now that's not where our train can have disappeared, because the train disappeared before Evesham. Right. So we have to head in here to the railway and then check over there. We couldn't get in here earlier, but we can now, perhaps. See, there's another of these railroad things. Can't go further. I cannot click this, so I should be able to go further. Direction London, yeah. That's the correct direction. Ah, maybe in here. Yep.
There was a building here not so long ago.
But I don't understand, Holmes. Why would anyone destroy the shed in such a manner?
It was disassembled in great haste. It is most odd.
Yes, it is. But it's also very confusing, because we now have like strange things in different stations, haven't we? We have the mines that were closed with dynamite. We have the quarry that was flooded with the lake. And here we have this building that has been destroyed recently. Wheel traces. Heavy vehicle traces.
Traces. Let's take a closer look. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches.
So, this is the same distance that was between the tracks at the lake that was flooded into the quarry, but it's not the same as the tracks from the mines. The mines was a lightweight vehicle, and I was like 8 feet, I believe. And both the lake and this area have heavy vehicle traces of
The
6
vehicle would
feet
have been
something.
heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. The traces found at the disassembled shed near Evesham and at the lake were from the same vehicle.
Yes, I told you, Holmes. You should listen to me once in a while. Okay, what more? Anything else here? This is where the truck went.
This road should lead to the town of Evesham.
The town of Evesham. Okay. Anything else left to investigate here? We probably got most of the clues by now.
All these trains and railway stations, Chileans, Mexicans, and Robinson with his prototype. Holmes, I'm utterly lost.
Well, it is rather confusing, Watson. You're right. But there's also no connection here to these tracks. But the tracks doesn't matter. This is where the truck was located, a building with a lot of materials. And this truck, heavy truck, left from here, went to the lake, where the heavy material was used to flood the water into the quarry. So what was stored here in this building was probably dynamite or something else explosive to manage to flood the lake into the quarry. Now, thinking further about this, we already know that in the Doncaster station, next to the quarry, we had this Mexican guy. Whereas at the mines, we know that the mines were already owned or were going to be owned by the Chileans, and that any Mexican trespassers were to be, I believe, even shot. I'm not sure what it mentioned, but it was clear that they were not welcome around the mines. So it is unlikely that the explosion was caused by the Mexicans. This was probably the Chileans' work. So one of both parties must have done this, or it was Mr. Robinson, but that seems less and less likely. There's a disassembled warehouse near Evesham. Yep, this is still something we can talk to someone about, and the first person that springs to mind is obviously the station master of Evesham, where we all started, at Evesham.
It appears that there was a small warehouse near your station and that it was disassembled. Why is that?
It was burgled overnight about 2 weeks ago. The police have already started their investigation, but I doubt that they'll find anything.
What was inside the warehouse?
Nothing of value. A few 100 feet of standby rails and some spare railway parts. But it wouldn't be easy to steal all of that. Why would anyone want to?
Rails.
See you later,
right.
my good man.
Nope. This is the mines. Oh, here it is. Somebody stole the rails to temporarily cover the missing section of the railway into the mines. This is if we assume the train didn't get past Chesterfield. But it's not the mines. Because it was a heavy vehicle. It was a heavy vehicle, so this isn't possible. I don't think... Yeah, I'm not sure. Yes, it could. If it passed Chesterfield. The only conflict here is the road into the mines, but we don't have an alternative to select there for some reason. I must be still missing a clue. Because there's... Oh wait, I still have deductions. That's what I needed. And now I can select... Someone stole the rails to temporarily cover the missing section of the old railway to the flooded quarry. This makes more sense. The train passed Chesterfield. Mexicans had barges. The train could have been sunk with the train was sunk in the flooded quarry. The mines were collapsed with dynamite, but not to hide the train. The loss of the prototype. Robinson is a victim. And there we go, we have a possible conclusion. I'm pretty sure this is not the conclusion I used last time. But it seems to explain, it seems to give the best explanation to all the facts. The Chileans, the whole prototype thing was actually just unrelated. Everyone had to go off the train except the Chileans. And so the Mexicans set this all up to drown the Chileans in the lake. They had this equipment, they stole these railway parts near Evesham to temporarily get the track into the quarry. They flooded the lake. From the same spot there was a heavy wagon going out to Evesham that later appeared at the lake to flood it into the quarry. So all these facts seem to be tied together. The Mexicans, there is a Mexican showing up in the station there, who was there for several days, and yeah, everything seems to tie up. The only thing that is kind of weird is that if this was true, then what is the Mexican guy still hanging around the station? You know, in we go to the map. So in Bridlington station everyone had to go off except the Chileans. The railway switch here was not used. The train went past Chesterfield. So the drunk station master at Chesterfield was right. Even if we cannot use his testimony, but the train did pass. And at Doncaster the train was run into the lake. And the station master of Doncaster was bribed because he received a large sum of money. The only question is then, why would the Mexican still be around here? He mentioned that his friends or colleagues never showed up. The second scenario, of course, is that the train was actually that it's actually the Chileans who were on the train. They continued alone on the train with the prototype. They used the railway switch to divert the train to the mines. They took the prototype, pushed the train into the mines, and then used dynamite to close it. They owned the mines, so it's not unlikely. But then the question is, what does this entire thing with the flooded lake and the stolen railroad parts, how would you explain that? Was that just a coincidence? Maybe the Mexicans were planning something, but they didn't get to execute it? Interesting, isn't it? I'm just gonna hold off for a moment and see what everyone in the chat has to say. I have found and utilized all the clues. So what remains is to draw a conclusion. What do you think? I think we have three possible suspects. Mr. Robinson himself, who could have orchestrated this to get rid of his prototype, get the money that he received in prepayment from the different contracts, and collect the insurance money. Then we have the Chileans, as I just explained, who could have gotten the train into the mines, or the Mexicans who set a trap to actually drawn the Chileans into the lake. I don't think you can keep digging, because the thing said me I had collected all the clues and made all the possibilities. I have no tasks left. I have no evidence left that I can use to interrogate someone. So what remains is just drawing our conclusion from the available clues. The Mexicans, the Chileans, who we haven't talked to, there's no sign of the Chileans. That's also something to take note of. If Mr. Robinson were the one to do it, how would he have gotten rid of the Chileans that were on the train? He was at Bridlington Station, so he would need an accomplice. Unless we can assume that Mr. Robinson worked together with the Mexicans. I'm not sure if that's a possible conclusion. Let's check. Robinson is not a victim. He has a motive. Yeah, we cannot connect that to anything else. Well, I think the previous time I played this, I went for the Chileans. The Chileans that had gotten the train into the mines. I believe, I'm not sure, but I think that was my conclusion last time. Anyone else besides Maisie? Oh, so quiet. The thing is, there is no real evidence to any of the three theories, as far as I'm concerned. Just almost. Well, he is guilty of something. He was trying to sell his prototype to different parties and collect money in advance. No, there's three theories, Maisie. There's three theories. Either it was Robinson who wanted to get rid of the prototype, maybe the Chileans as well, and get the insurance money and if possible advance payments he had already received for that prototype. The Chileans, who were still on the train, who could have dropped the train in the mine and gotten this prototype for free because they knew about its existence. Or the Mexicans, who set a trap, who orchestrated the whole thing to get their revenge on the Chileans who got hands on the mining company that they were normally going to get. I'm gonna stick with this conclusion, guys. Yeah, the Mexicans look dodgy, but so does the Chileans. This is the most complex conclusion here, I think. And I'm gonna go with this. It was carefully planned murder. The Mexicans killed the Chileans and sank the train in a flooded quarry to hide. Wait. To hide? Okay, I have to click it. So, to hide their crime, that was it. Blind justice. The Mexican inhumanity towards the Chileans has cost many lives. We must act quickly. Contact Lestrade and allow the police to perform their loud and swift justice even at the risk of international conflict. Or, political game. A criminal organization such as this cannot be confronted directly. It requires a delicate approach. Give Mycroft the chance to resolve the conflict, even though it might be protracted and turned to its own advantage. This is the moral decision, guys. If we choose the Mexicans, and I will choose the Mexicans, Maisie, I will. So Mosty saying that, no, Lion saying that his conclusion is the same. Maisie thinks it was Robinson. Interesting, Maisie. Interesting. Even at the risk of international conflict. Well, going with the character of Sherlock Holmes, he is definitely not into the political game, unlike his brother Mycroft. So I think the real Sherlock Holmes, given that if he comes to the same conclusion that the Mexicans did it, he would probably go for the blind justice. Yep, I'm going with blind justice, guys. And Mycroft is not going to like it, for sure. Yes. No, not the political game. I hate politics. And these guys are guilty, so they need to be turned in to the police. Although we only have one Mexican, but the Mexican still being in the station does still make me doubt, though.
What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble. But it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. Our other option is the local constabulary, and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal. All the same, I think that I prefer the forces methods. It would be better to resolve the case quickly and efficiently, without any talk of politics.
Let us go home then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
No, I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well, all right. What did I miss?
Watson, we know that the Barkazas Company directors were drowned in the flooded quarry, along with the train and Robinson's prototype. But we still need to corner the guilty party.
But how do you intend to prove... Oh, no. Please don't tell me we have to dive into the lake.
Huh. You may rest assured that I have a far better idea. We have only to use our corrupt Doncaster station master as bait. He will unwittingly trap our Mexican friend.
Of course, you already had a plan.
Of
I shall
course.
follow you, Holmes.
Well, the case is solved, and we shall be heading home. And may we have 2 tickets to London, please?
Right away, wait a minute. You've solved the case?
In a manner of speaking, can you believe that the rescue service miraculously saved one of the Chileans who were on board the train? The police have ordered his immediate escort to London on the next train.
He pulled through then? He's alive?
Yes, by extreme good fortune. His condition is quite serious, and the method of transportation has its risk, but he will be held securely by the doctor and police officers. The gentleman carries some vital information on this case. I am sure of it.
Really?
Your station will be famous, Mr. Duff. The journalists will be here before you know it. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Yeah, he's not happy about it.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba!
Caramba.
Traitor! You double-crossed me!
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't want another life lost in this case, Holmes.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence. By the way, Watson, would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
Well, there we go. It was carefully planned murder. The Mexicans killed the Chileans and sank the train to hide their crime. The dam bridge was played to their advantage. They used their own barges to keep the train on the run for a few seconds and then sank it in the flooded quarry. The railway tracks were removed to hide the crime. The Mexicans' inhumanity towards the Chileans cost many lives, so the decision was made to act quickly. Lestrade will be informed. Clues found: 23. Conclusion: the Mexicans drowned the Chileans. Moral choice: blind justice. And I can hold space again to check my conclusion. But do I want to? I didn't do it in the first case, and I don't want to do it here. Because I believe if you hit space, it tells you if you have chosen the correct guilty person. There's no correct moral ending, but the game would tell you if it was indeed the Mexicans. But I don't want to. I didn't do it in the first case, and I don't want to spoil it. If I replay it again, I may go for Mr. Robinson or the Chileans. And the cool thing is, if you don't check it, then it keeps open the speculation and a bit of the mystery around this. So I'm going to just accept my decision and finish the case. Then there's no way back. Yes. Personality ranking is now neutral. We have 68% who solved the case the same way, and 35% only made the same moral choice. So, if you remember the first case, I believe there was in more than 70% who solved it the same way, and about 60% who had made the same moral decision to absolve the sailor, the harpooner, correct. So here we have still a high number with the same solution, but it's still more than 30% who shows something else. And the moral choice, I'm the minority here, because only 1 out of 3 people chose this decision, so the other 60% chose the political game. And I think this starts the next case, but I will not continue with it. I will take a break. Let's see, it's 1 a.m. here. I think I'm gonna do a short stream, late stream, later on, but I'm first going to take an extended break now. I've been playing for quite a while now. Let's say in half an hour I will continue with streaming a third game, and I still have to make up my mind which game that will be. So let me just check which game we're gonna play. Thank you, Mosty. Have a good night. I can understand that not everyone will follow the late game, but for those of you who do, within half an hour we will do part 3 with a game still to be determined. Good night to all of you who are going to leave, and catch you later for anyone who will be around within half an hour, more or less, for the third game of tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. There's 4 more cases. I may do some of them in the future. I think it's a really interesting game. I rather enjoy it even when I'm replaying it now. By far the best Sherlock Holmes game around, in my opinion. Better than Jack the Ripper, or The Testament of Sherlock Holmes. And unfortunately the most recent Sherlock Holmes game is far from as good. They chose a totally different approach. Even though this game had quite some good reviews, people honestly liked them. If you check the forums, people were asking for extra cases, even as DLC. And quite frankly, if they would just have made a few more cases for this game, I would happily buy them. But no, they chose a different approach, and I think that's a very bad decision, honestly. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and for those of you who will be around, catch you later. Have a good night.